Now, we know that, when we come to enhancing security, that is one of the top agendas of the Enugu State Governor, Dr. Peter Mbah. Now, recall that a year ago, the state government launched the fundraising of the State Security Trust Fund on a private-public partnership between the government and the people. Hence, the commissioning of the newly procured high-tech security gadgets, patrol vehicles, and other assets acquired by the Enugu State Security Trust Fund to strengthen security operations across the state. Afia TV correspondent Chidima Madu now reports.
Donated to the Enugu State government by the Enugu State Security Trust Fund. We dedicate these items to the use and benefits of Enugu and mankind in general. And we commission them in the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
According to officials of the ESSTF, the equipment forms part of the state's broader security initiative with the purpose of improving the efficiency of law enforcement agencies and boosting public safety for residents and businesses. The two newly acquired drones will support aerial surveillance and real-time monitoring, while the 10 Hilux vehicles and 40 motorbikes will expand ground patrol for security operatives. Other gadgets like 400 helmets and 400 vests will ensure the safety of forcemen.
This is a journey that just started. It is just a sign of other things, because after this we now want to, based on the success and what we are beginning to see, despite the number of flights now coming into Enugu, if you don't book on time, you don't even have, you don't get seats. That tells you the number and the traffic that is now coming to Enugu. It's no longer where you come in, you know you are the only person at the airport. It's full. And that is like, whether it is by road or by air, that is the kind, and these are signs to show that there's something nice happening here. The traffic, I'm beginning to see people, even companies telling, would like to have our retreat and a couple of his assignments here in Enugu. These are things, and we believe that we should be part of that integral, part of that journey. And one of the critical success factors is having peace, and peace obviously will be meaningless unless there's security. We have started that journey, and this is just the first step.
The use of technology to fight crime, one of our strategic objectives in the Enugu State Security Trust Fund. So after our fundraising exercise, which is a continuous process, we acquired the drones. And we decided to acquire the state-of-the-art drone, so it enables you to operate in any kind of terrain because you don't need the wrong way. It has the capability to go beyond Enugu State. Then also we have the capability to track suspects, vehicles, human beings, track them anywhere they are within the state. As we raise the funds, we will be able to acquire the items that the security agencies need. So this is a start, but it's not everything. As time goes on, we'll continue to acquire more and more based on the donations coming in.
Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Mbah thanked the board members of ESSTF for their unwavering dedication to ensure we have a safe and secure Enugu State. He reinforced that the state must invest hugely in security gadgets and infrastructure to react quickly and enforce peace. Governor Mbah appreciated the efforts of the federal government and the contributions of the business community in the state and re-emphasized that it is a continuous commitment for future business investments.
We can confidently say today that violent crime has been reduced by over 80%. In Enugu State. We are not resting on our laurels because the criminals and these bad elements that we're dealing with are also not resting. Security is one sector where you may have scored 90%, but just one breach gets magnified and undermines all the successes you have accomplished. And that is why we must invest hugely in equipment and infrastructure that enable us to nip crime in the bud and also react swiftly when one has been committed. We believe that these security challenges are local. And as state, we must also play our own role to ensure that our localities are safe. This is to the criminals. We're able to identify you, we're able to track you, we're able to capture you, and we'll ensure that you face justice. And so please do not come to our state. We do not have room for you, and we will not accommodate you.
The new assets is an ongoing strategy to stop criminality and ensure a secure environment for economic and social activities in Enugu. Chidinma Madu for Afia TV.
Thank you, Chidinma, for that detailed, well put together report. Now, joining us virtually to discuss this is the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Enugu State Security Trust Fund, Dr. Ike Chioke. He's also an investment banker and group managing director of Unveils, of course, Trustees Limited. Pleasure to have you join us this morning, sir. So good to have you.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. I noticed
Can you hear me?
Yes, I noticed the guys at the back just did a little setting so we can hear you clearly. So
Okay.
we've seen the report. I mean, we've seen the greatest yield, the results of the Enugu State Security Trust Fund, of course, which you chair the BOT of. Could you bring us up to speed on the progress of the ESSTF since its inception last year?
Thank you. We were inaugurated in 2024 on the 13th of February.
Right.
And a year later, this year, on the 13th of February 2025, we held a major fundraising. At that event, we raised a total of 2.7 billion naira. Of that amount, only about 1.3 billion has been redeemed by various of the people that made commitments. And today, only 200 people have contributed that 1.3 billion. And that amount is what we have applied to deliver these security assets to Enugu State government as of yesterday. So we have been quite prudent in stretching the resources available to us. And I want to use this opportunity to call on members of the public, well-meaning individuals across Nigeria, and particularly those in Enugu, to support the effort of the Enugu State Security Trust Fund in raising more funding so we can all collectively fight these problems within security in our state.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this, right? Can you break down the exact equipment being procured with these monies and all that? And what were the priorities? How were they determined, right?
Obviously, we wanted to be able to strengthen what we call the non-kinetic capacity of the state to fight crime. Non-kinetic meaning we're not procuring arms, ammunition, or guns for them, but we are strengthening the intelligence gathering effort and then also the ability for them to react and respond to threats of insecurity. So we bought 10 Hilux trucks. We also bought 40 motorcycles. Particularly, these are helpful for those, the forest guards, to be able to go through the forest and get to some very remote areas. In addition, we bought 400 bulletproof helmets and another 400 bulletproof vests. But they pierced the resistance. The two main gadgets that we bought that really transform the fight against insecurity in the state are the two sets of state-of-the-art drones, which were demonstrated yesterday. These drones are the latest available and allow the state to deploy them anytime, day or night, to be able to visit remote corners of the state and check on any issues or problems that have emanated. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the capacity of the new equipment, particularly the drones. We have some people here who say things like the drones are too loud. How would it be able to follow the possible bandits or kidnappers without alerting them that they are being trailed? So I think it would be great for you to educate everybody on the capacity and, of course, the general viability of the new equipment.
Yes, of course, at takeoff and landing, you will see the drones. But these drones can go to heights of up to 5,000 feet. So they're actually equipped with transponders and connected to the air traffic control system in Enugu State so that the people at the airport can see them. and be sure that they are not interfering with normal air traffic. But the drones can go at 5,000 feet. In fact, at 1,000 feet, you cannot hear them anymore. In addition, they can go at night, and they have 5 kinds of cameras, including the visual that gives you color images, which is being broadcast live to the command and control center, as well as the infrared cameras that let them see completely clearly at night. And they can broadcast images of human beings gathered in any forest, in any part of the state, live and direct to the command and control center. And at the same time, send a signal on the exact location of these people.
Where do you consider would be the priority areas to be basically monitored, surveyed, overseen by the new infrastructure? Which of the local governments do you say or do you believe should be made priority for the new gadgets?
I think that will be at the discretion of His Excellency and the security team. You've got to recognize that the Security Trust Fund essentially works as a fundraising platform and coordinates with them to supply the equipment that they need the most. But I can't on live TV tell you these are the most problematic areas of the state. I will say, however, that when Governor Peter Mbah took office, there were easily over 20 different camps of criminals hiding in our various forests across Enugu State. As of today, they've all been rusticated and removed. And if we notice any strange gathering of people in the middle of the forest, we can quickly identify them with drones and see what is happening. Bear in mind that the drones, even at 5,000 feet, have a zoom of something like 50 times, and that's enough for them to be able to identify someone's face and compare that to any biometric images we have and determine who the person is.
So then cost implications. People will be wondering how much of the budget, what chunk of the fund was eaten by the new equipment and, of course, the patrol vehicles, especially as people are saying that we need more than 2 drones to be able to survey the state successfully.
Yes, but remember, this is a public-private partnership. So that means everybody needs to chip in their widow's mite, no matter how small. As of today, less than 200 people out of the over 6 million people in Enugu State have contributed.
So what was the cost of each of the drones purchased?
I cannot disclose that on live television, but I can say that the total amount we have received so far is just about 1.3 billion naira, including the 50 million. And the government gave us 50 million as take-off grant. And we've been able to achieve this.
Do you think the state needs more than 2 drones to survey successfully?
I do think that the state could easily need up to 20 drones to survey successfully and have them be deployed in platoons that are continuously monitoring all parts of the state, and not just insecurity, but even traffic spots. There are some roads where there's a small problem. If we can identify it quickly, you can avoid a massive holdup that gets people stranded on the road for hours. So there are a lot of things the drone can help you do as well, aside from fighting insecurity.
Okay, with this level of investment, right, in reduction of crime rates in Enugu and response to it, what do you envisage by 2025-6, by the way, how the percentage, the metrics on crime rates in Enugu State regarding these huge investment?
I mean, the investment is continuous, as you know, but the direction we're going to is more to the point of preventing crimes rather than responding to criminalities. And I think that I remember a broadcast, the governor assured us that he had reduced over 80% of the sort of random criminalities that we used to have in the state, particularly in the urban areas. What the investment we're doing is to now begin to deal with those people that think that because they're in the remote areas, they can act with impunity. With the sort of equipment we've deployed, we can then start up continuous monitoring and then ensure once people realize that they're going, if they do something, they'll be caught. Then they stop doing it, essentially.
Right. So talking about the origin, where the drones and, of course, the equipment was procured, could you inundate us on that?
These drones are made in China. That's as much as I can say. Then the other equipment, the Hilux Toyota brand, and the bulletproof vests and the bulletproof helmets, they are the same standard that the military operations in Nigeria use. I cannot tell you where they come from, but they were tested in Abuja to confirm that they meet the ballistic standards to withstand.
Some Nigerians have raised concerns about local procurement, asking for patronage of local manufacturers such as Dangote, for instance, Innocent, for instance, So essentially, why is that not being prioritized?
Again, these we also have to look at this equipment from a point of sustainability, the ability to maintain them and service them, and also from a point of ruggedness. We do know that these the trucks, for example, are put to extreme tests by going through all sorts of corners, nooks and crannies of the state. And it was on that basis that we said, let's for now start with what is most rugged and sustainable, and then of course, as we raise more funds, we can begin to leverage on the capacity of local manufacturers, including Industrial Motors.
All right. So what is your final promise? What's your promise to Enugu residents as we hope for more, shall we say, yields, results from the Security Trust Fund?
I think it's not so much as a promise, but a call to action. Our website is www.ESSTF.ng. Again, www.ESSTF.ng. We have built a payment portal that allows anybody anywhere in the world to click on donate, and you're able to pay money into the trust fund electronically, directly, and we'll receive that money.
All right.
I'm calling to citizens of Enugu, anybody that has any concern about insecurity, and that's all of us, to make a contribution. As I said, only less than 200 people have donated so far. We have received just about 1.3 billion naira in cash and in kind. And then there's about 1.4 billion naira of unredeemed pledges. I would like to urge everybody who has made a pledge to please come forward and redeem that.
All right.
We can see that we are making a lot of impact.
All
but
right.
more importantly, the citizens, general public, well-meaning Nigerians, organizations, please support the trust fund by making a donation, because every single penny counts. It's only from 1.3 billion that we're able to deploy these very critical assets. And you can imagine what we can do if everybody chips in.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ike Chioke, for joining the show this morning. It was so good to have you. And we do hope for more success and more results from the Security Trust Fund, which you chair the BOT of. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
All right, the morning show returns in just seconds as we breeze through social media before we let you go. And do not forget, Afia TV would be streaming live the budget presentation by the Enugu State governor at the hallowed chamber of the Enugu State House of Assembly, beginning at about 10 a.m. this morning. So do also stay tuned on Afia TV, to Afia TV all day today. Stay tuned, we'll be back in seconds to social media. Don't go anywhere.